Hey guys, today we're going to be doing a review for WWE 2K Battlegrounds. And I honestly haven't played a good wrestling game since SmackDown Here Comes the Pain on PS2, but after playing WWE 2K Battlegrounds, I was pretty much reminded of how fun wrestling games could be again. Battlegrounds is pretty much an arcadey wrestling game focusing more on fun and theatrics rather than taking itself seriously, which is a good thing. The goofiness in 2K Battlegrounds is a breath of fresh air, and it just mixes things up from just the average wrestling simulator like the 2K series that we have now, which has been going down the drain over the years. I don't think I've seen a good wrestling game in actually a long time. But yeah, we're gonna pretty much take you guys down the five categories being fun factor, control and gameplay, graphics, sound, and replayability. Because we want you guys to, get a good idea of whether or not you will like this game or if it's worth spending your money on. Yeah, fun factor wise, it's actually a blast playing. Pretty wacky. It's over the top, and the campaign is a breath of fresh air as well because you get to play as original characters and you get to make them pretty much the next big thing. They go through each individual story and wind up coming out on top, being WWE's next Battlegrounds champion. There's fun to be had for everyone, whether you're adult or a kid. It's family friendly and also just a fun game if you just want to settle a score or you lost a bet, you want to challenge somebody to a game. You can always try out Battlegrounds. It's also really, really fun watching your favorite WWE superstars fly sky high to deliver signature moves. It just never gets old. There are also power ups and stuff, so as you go through the campaign, you will be unlocking power ups and each having their own unique effects. Some, like Fist of Flame, like the title says, your hands turn on fire and you do extra damage. Then there's other moves like Reflector, pretty much reflects the damage back at your enemy. So the more damage you take, it just goes right to them. So the power ups in this game are actually pretty unique and they can change the tide of the battle. So it's interesting to see what people will do and what different combinations they're going to be using. So don't worry, there's fun to be had for everyone. Whether you like just stomping your opponents out or, like to have an epic standoff and taunt your opponent, you're going to have a blast here. When we get down to control and gameplay, the controls are pretty basic, like any WWE game, and you'll get used to it in a couple minutes. Shouldn't take people that long to get adjusted to them. And yeah, at times it can be a little clunky, but for the most part, everything works. When it works well. But sometimes there can be little bugs and hitches here and there that make the controls feel a little lackluster. And as far as the match types, there's actually a good amount of match types, including cage matches and Royal Rumble. They have battle royales, tornado tag, all the good stuff that you'd expect to see in a WWE wrestling game. The only one I think they don't have actually is hardcore match, which is pretty surprising. It would have been nice to see a hardcore match included, but maybe it was a bit too hardcore for them. Off the bat, I believe there is around 21 fighters, so we'll be able to get a good amount of gameplay out of this. As far as graphics are concerned, they're pretty decent. We reviewed this game on the Nintendo Switch, so I can't speak for other versions, but for being on the Switch, it looks decent and runs well. There is some slowdown here and there if things get a little too hectic or you have four players going at it at once, doing crazy specials and like throwing each other around, then there's a bit of slowdown. But other than that, it runs as intended. All of the Battleground superstars are pretty much portrayed as miniature versions of their real life counterparts, which is cool. Some look more like themselves than others, but it could have been worse. They did it. I think they did a good job at making these characters come to life in their like chibi art style, like the whole big head, big body, short people. I do hope that the frame rate is better if it's played on PS4, Xbox, or PC, because frame rate drops do break the immersion once you get a big match like a Royal Rumble going. So slowdown is not something I like to see doing a big matchup like that. And in terms of sound, Battlegrounds is pretty cool. Like sound effects are impactful. They help build the atmosphere while you're, pounding away at your opponent in the ring. And Battlegrounds also features Jerry the King Lawler and Moiro Ronaldo as the ringside commentators, so that's also pretty cool. Get a bit of the authentic feeling while you have Jerry screaming and narrating of all the little things that you're doing on the side. So I think that part is really cool. Makes it feel more authentic when you have the two narrators ringside. Now we're pretty much coming down to replayability, and Battlegrounds is not too bad when it comes to replayability because you got a bunch of matches to choose from, got a bunch of characters that you could mix and match and try them out. And you got the power ups. The power ups really change up how matches play out. So playability is actually, I think, one of the stronger things in Battlegrounds because you could be trying to unlock a new character. So in order to do that, you would have to grind up the blue bucks. That's how you pretty much unlock characters through the in-game currency. There's also paid currency, which is gold bucks, and that's if you want to dump your real money into the game and you don't want to grind out the blue bucks. Pretty much have to pony up your money and then you could buy whoever you want. But at least they do allow you to grind blue bucks in a fair way. I believe every match allows you to earn some blue bucks. So if you're someone who likes grinding, then this game is for you. If you don't mind grinding too much, then should be able to unlock most characters, if not all, without dropping money on the game, which is pretty cool because at least they don't pigeonhole you into putting down your money. But yeah, replayability is solid in Battlegrounds. I think it probably would take a while before you get bored from doing all the different types of matchups, using the different power ups, the different superstars. So yeah, it's pretty good, and I believe there are going to be post launch characters added into the game. Not sure how long it's going to take, but there should be some on their way. I believe sometime in November, we're supposed to get the first batch of superstars. I think they'll drip feed them throughout the year or the next upcoming year so that people will have a fresh experience and keep it fresh having new superstars added to the game, which is always a good thing. In conclusion, WWE Battlegrounds is a fun way to pass time with some friends, whether on the couch or online. Either way, you're going to have a blast with this game if you're a fan of wrestling. And even if you're not a fan of wrestling, you probably will have a decent amount of fun just picking it up and giving it a shot. So it's a pretty solid title for what it is. Besides the minor issues like frame rate drops and controls being clunky sometimes, it's a pretty solid arcade wrestling game experience. So I think most of you guys will enjoy it. But yeah, guys, that wraps up our review for WWE 2K Battlegrounds. I hope you guys will enjoy. Don't forget to leave us a like or subscribe, and let us know in the comments whether or not you agree or disagree with us. Let us know your opinion of Battlegrounds if you have played it. Yeah, we'd love to know. We'd love to know your opinion. So we will see you guys next time on the next review.